Lo, the winter is past, the rain is over and gone, the flowers appear on the earth, the time of the singing of birds is come, and the voice of the turtle is heard in our land.
I'm trying to tell you something about my life. Maybe give me insight between black and white. And the best thing you ever done for me used to help me take my life less seriously. It's only life after all.
Enjoy the game. Nice to see you. Have a good time at the game now.
If there is one thing W. Ernest Harwell has taught us all, it's his belief that a person should never take life too seriously. The man whose familiar voice has helped us relive our childhoods grew up like most little boys in America, loving the game of baseball.
My childhood was a fairly happy childhood. I had two older brothers, and we all played a little sandlot ball. We loved baseball. My dad was a great baseball fan, and he inculcated into me a love of baseball.
Little boy in a baseball hat stands in the field with his ball and bat.
My first game that I ever saw was in 1926. On the 4th of July, my dad took me to a doubleheader. That was before he was stricken with multiple sclerosis. And the Crackers were playing the New Orleans Pelicans. And a fellow named Eddie Morgan hit a home run. I remember that, but I don't remember much else about the game. But I was hooked from then on.
Now the little boy doesn't say a word, picks up his ball, he is undeterred.
Well, I had a speech impediment from about the time I was 3 or 4 years old up until grammar school, and it was called tongue-tied. I couldn't say an S, I couldn't say a CH, I'd say ficken instead of chicken, and if I wanted to say Susie, I'd say Foozie, and I think maybe a lot of people think I'm still tongue-tied.
Now it's supper time, and his mama calls. Little boy starts home with his bat and ball.
When I was very young, I wanted to be a big league ball player, and I found out I couldn't make it. And then when I was in high school, I connected with the Sporting News. I wrote the editor, and he didn't know I was only 16 years old, so he gave me the job as Atlanta correspondent. And that's when I really connected up with the media, 1934, the year that Sparky Anderson and Al Kaline were born.
Ernie's work in newspapers continued for 6 years until a small station in Atlanta, WSB, gave him his first shot at broadcasting. He soon became the play-by-play voice of the Atlanta Crackers and has stayed behind the mic ever since, getting his shot at the major leagues in a most unique way.
When I was working with the Crackers in 1948, Red Barber, the great Brooklyn announcer, became ill on a trip to Pittsburgh. He had an ulcer perforate on him. And Branch Rickey, his boss, contacted the fellow that owned the Atlanta Crackers, Earl Mann, and said, I'd like to have Ernie Harwell come up and replace Red. And Earl Mann said, well, Mr. Rickey, that's good, but I've got Ernie under contract. If you really want him badly enough, you send me your catcher from Montreal, Cliff Dapper. So I got to the big leagues, traded for a minor league catcher.
In 1950, Ernie was lured to the rival New York Giants, where 1 year later he would broadcast the debut of Willie Mays. Soon he'd move on to Baltimore, where he spent 6 seasons before making Detroit his new home in 1960.
But it doesn't make too much difference whether you're for him or against him. I think that everybody realizes the strengths and the weaknesses of the Detroit Ball Club for 1960.
How about the young fellows, Al, on this team? You think we've got some pretty good prospects?
Oh, yes. We have some real fine ball players, and I tell you, this ball club is going to have a real great future.
He swings a line shot, base hit, right field, the Tigers win it. Here comes Kaline to score, and it's all over. Downward singles, the Tigers mob down. Kaline has scored, the fans are streaming on the field, and the Tigers have won their first pennant since 1945.
I think my style is repertorial. I try to be as brief as I can and try to be as clear as I can.
Swung on, a drive to left. That'll be the ball game. It's over the head of Gosnell. And McLean has his 30th victory of the 1968 season.
Kittle waits. Here it comes. He struck him out, and Morris has a no-hitter. Here's the pitch. He swings as a long drive to right, and it is a home run for Gibson. The pitch, he swings, and there's a fly ball to left. Here comes Herndon. He's there. He's got it. The Tigers are the champions of 1984.
My fondest memory of broadcasting will be the people that I've met, the people on the field, the umpires, the players, the managers and the coaches. And they're the focal point of the game. And then the media, the guys have always been great to me. But the people of the game, in it and around it, are the ones that mean the most to me.
But there's an English rose named Abraham Darby.
Old Abraham Darby, yeah, he was
Away from the ballpark, there's no question who is most important in his
And
life.
this one's Betty Boop.
Oh, Betty Boop. I remember when she was in the movies.
Lulu Tankersley, a woman who over 60 years ago gave up her former name to be Mrs. Ernie Harwell, has been by his side through every game, every story, every call. The remarkable Miss Lulu was always there, in his heart, supporting her husband in every dream he pursued.
We'd go together like a wink and a smile.
Well, she's got a lot of patience to begin with, and she's very adaptive. And when we're going out, she can get dressed in a hurry. She's got a lot of wonderful qualities, but most of all, she's self-sacrificing, and she's very lovable. And she was at home to take care of things and be mom and dad when I was away, which was, of course, half my lifetime. And I owe a whole lot to her. She's the best thing ever happened to me.
Thank you.
With a wink and a smile.
Ernie Harwell is so much more than a baseball announcer. He's a gateway to our past, our favorite team, our favorite player. He's helped us to recall our best baseball memories, and as well, he's a part of our families, part of the fabric that makes up what is so special about growing up in Detroit.
I don't think anything nicer to a guy can happen than that, because I hear a lady might write and say, when I hear your voice, I think of my grandfather. I sat on the porch with him, and I didn't know anything about baseball, but your voice was always in the background. It's just a great thing to let people take you into their family, and then they can tell you about it, and I love to hear that, I really do.
McGregor kicks and deals. Here's a fly ball left. It may be. It's deep. Going back, Lowenstein.